am here to ruin another beloved franchise.
Go back to the shadow.
What is up, space pirates? This is your Admiral, the mercifully merciless Dr. Disaster, and Splinter Cell Deathwatch just released last week, and it did not show up on the top 10 list of most streamed shows because when we saw the trailer for it last month, we could all tell what kind of show this was going to be.
This diva needs her stage!
Go make me a sandwich.
For perspective as to how poorly Splinter Cell Deathwatch appears to have been received, in order to show up on this most recent top 10 list of the most streamed shows, it would have needed to beat out the show Old Money at the bottom there, which had 269.5 million minutes watched. Splinter Cell had a total runtime of about 3 hours. So, if you do the math, it works out to a little under 1.5 million people who would have needed to watch the show in its entirety in order to show up on that list, but they could not manage those numbers. Meanwhile, its recent contemporary Devil May Cry, another Netflix cartoon adaptation of a popular video game series, that show hit 5.3 million viewers in its first week. It turns out that broadcasting, like they did with Splinter Cell, broadcasting that you're gonna replace and sideline a beloved character like Sam Fisher is not a strong marketing tactic.
So, what are you trying to say?
I don't want to be your friend.
The worst trouble with this whole Netflix production, though, is the announcement that it will be considered canon to the Splinter Cell gaming universe, which means that Sam Fisher is now 1,000,000 years old. He wears a man bun, and he's being replaced with a strong and empowered Whammon, whose tactics when engaging with enemies is to run into a room and just start blasting. Doesn't sound at all like Splinter Cell to me.
Hold it! What the hell is that shit?
With that in mind, Ubisoft is in the process of doing a remake of the original Splinter Cell game, and apparently the word on the street is that they were rewriting the script for it in order to fit a modern audience. And now they've apparently lost their director for this new game for the second time in its development. A job listing for a game director of Splinter Cell has been discovered. Now, that fact alone, that they've already gone through 2 directors, is unsettling enough. But when you combine that with the timing of this departure, right when the Splinter Cell Netflix show gets largely ignored and lambasted by fans, well, maybe someone at Ubisoft is telling them to cool it on rewriting this shit for a modern audience.
Stop it. Get some help.
Alright, me hearties, make sure that you hit the like button on this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I've had a lot of people tell me that they have been unwillingly unsubscribed to the channel, so make sure you look into that, and also, give me a follow over on X, where my handle is Dr. Disaster1. And if you feel like supporting the channel and helping keep the lights on, consider becoming a member for as little as $5 per month. In any case though, let's have a look at this news that Splinter Cell needs a new director for the second time. Keep in mind that just the other day we learned that Ubisoft had canceled that Assassin's Creed game that was supposed to have taken place around the time of the American Civil War, and keep in mind that it was around a month ago that the trailer for Splinter Cell Deathwatch came out, where they made it clear that Sam Fisher was going to be sidelined for the new girl boss character. Everyone in the comment section of that trailer completely crushed it, and it was ratioed at a clip of more than 2-to-1, as you can see here, with 14,000 likes to 33,000 dislikes. For as moronic as Ubisoft has been over the years, in recent months, they have started taking measures to eliminate this sort of thing from happening in the future, or at least that's what it seems like. They removed the creative director of Assassin's Creed, who was responsible for Assassin's Creed Shadows after that game flamed out. And yes, it's likely true that Tencent had a lot to do with that decision. Of course, Tencent now owns a quarter of the Assassin's Creed IP, along with Far Cry and Rainbow Six, with all of those franchises now placed outside of the direct control of Ubisoft and put under the umbrella of the newly founded Vantage Studios. You will note that Splinter Cell is not among those franchises that were moved. However, Tencent does still own a large stake in the entire Ubisoft company, and it would not be surprising at all if the decision to try to remove weird Western progressive shitlib elements from their games was taking place all across the entire company, even including properties like Splinter Cell, which are still under the direct sole control of Ubisoft. So, with all that in mind, let's read about this news that they are getting a new director for this Splinter Cell remake, and I will let you decide what you think is true. This right here is a Game Rant article, which I will link in the description. It says here, a now deleted job listing from Ubisoft has seemingly revealed that the upcoming Splinter Cell remake no longer has a game director attached to it. The highly anticipated Splinter Cell remake was announced by Ubisoft all the way back in 2021, but the project appears to be going through numerous development issues, as yet another game director has seemingly departed from Ubisoft. If the job listing is to be believed, this wouldn't be the first time that the project has lost its director. Back in 2022, less than 12 months after the title's reveal, the Splinter Cell remake lost its game director. David Grivell, who was originally spearheading the project at Ubisoft, had been with the studio for over a decade. During this time, Grivell had worked on some of Ubisoft's most iconic titles, including Splinter Cell Blacklist, numerous Far Cry entries, and Assassin's Creed Unity. The developer would then go on to work as a senior design director for EA, lending his expertise to the smash hit shooter Battlefield 6. Following Grivell's departure, Andy Schmall, who was previously a systems designer for Far Cry 6, was appointed as the new game director for Splinter Cell Remake. According to Schmall's LinkedIn page, she seemingly left the studio in September. It has since been spotted by outlet Tech for Gamers that Ubisoft is hiring for a new director to take over the project. While the job listing has since been deleted, a screenshot captured by Tech for Gamers specifically mentions the role being for Splinter Cell, responsible for the moment-to-moment gameplay on the project. And then, this right here is the screenshot of a portion of the job listing, and that highlighted part in purple at the bottom there specifically mentions the game Splinter Cell as being what they are hiring for. But anyhow, let's get back to the Games Radar article, where they give us an idea as to why things might be going south for the Splinter Cell project. It says, it's unclear what is going on behind the scenes at Ubisoft Toronto that has caused 2 game directors to leave the studio in the span of just 3 years, but it's clear that the Splinter Cell remake is experiencing some development troubles. Ubisoft Toronto is supposedly rewriting the script for a new modern-day audience, which could be why there have been little to no updates on the title since its initial reveal 4 years ago. Yeah, that is almost certainly the problem in my mind. Now, keep in mind that this game was announced 4 years ago, meaning that preliminary development of it probably started around 2019 or 2020 or so. That's when they would have been pitching basic concepts of the game, and that was during the height of wokeness, when that shit was at its peak. And now, to hear that they were rewriting it with a modern audience in mind, that really suggests an awful lot about what kind of game this was going to be. As a remake, there was only so much they could do, of course, to turn it into a woke fest, but it wouldn't shock me at all if they found ways to lecture gamers. I mean, for cripe's sake, this right here is the person who was directing the game. This is on Ubisoft's official website from all the way back in 2020, where they were highlighting and celebrating this woman as BIPOC in the company. And for anyone who doesn't know the acronym, that stands for Black and Indigenous People of Color. But anyhow, this is her, the director who is now going away from Ubisoft, and I have no doubt that someone like this would find a way to feminize the Splinter Cell IP in any way that she could. But the timing of her leaving the project is interesting. She apparently left the company in September, which was when that trailer came out for the Netflix show, and it was completely destroyed. I suspect that Tencent has a big presence in Ubisoft right now, and that the Guillemot family, who runs Ubisoft and wants to remain the bigwigs, I suspect that a part of the conditions that Tencent would bail them out like they did earlier this year is that they would listen. Ubisoft would be forced to listen to Tencent's recommendations. After that Splinter Cell trailer failed and was ripped apart, it would not surprise me at all if this director was removed and they decided that they were going to rethink the project and keep it more closely aligned to the original game. Game directors don't just up and quit for no reason. That is a massive step for any developer reaching the position of director. It is a position coveted by many. So, what this suggests is that Ubisoft may finally be having its head surgically removed from its ass, and it's most likely a result of Tencent starting to make demands. But I'm gonna leave it there. What do you make of all this news? Is this a good sign for Ubisoft, or do you think that the timing of all this might just be a coincidence? Drop your thoughts on all that and your mockery of Ubisoft and their Splinter Cell cartoon into the comment section below, and we will talk there. Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your Admiral is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.